DeMarcus Cousins is getting agitated, and when DeMarcus Cousins gets agitated, Francis, it leads to a very aggressive Boogie Cousins. Recently, this began years ago. He had problems at Kentucky. When he came into the NBA, the biggest thing on his scouting report, outside of him being a ferocious monster in the paint, strong, could fight for position, amazing on the block, all those great things were always overshadowed by a temper. And he was prone to get technical fouls and prone to be suspended. And he was for a few years. And then, Boogie's maturing. He's finding his way. He's definitely become less aggressive and not taking it out on other players. But now it's beginning to resurface again. It's everything we feared with DeMarcus. I have 3 cases for you. I don't know why I wrote these as Cousins v. Adams, Cousins v. Durant, and Cousins v. Paul.
Case?
It's like Roe v. Wade.
DeMarcus Cousins versus the people?
We begin with DeMarcus Cousins versus Steven Adams of recently against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where Steven Adams almost got a fist to the face.
Steven Adams is fifth, team second, and with a delayed game-winning charge from the Kings.
Francis.
I like Barstow's headline of this. Did you see it?
What was it?
It was like that moment when Steven Adams' head almost got punched into space.
Only one thing I'll back up Boogie Cousins for on that one, and he should not have done that, even though we're going to blow it out of proportion, like, he faked hitting him in the face. Steven Adams is a jerk.
You're just a mean
He's a
person.
jerk. I love his offensive game. I really do. I think he's a fighter.
But in
he's
that
fun to
situation,
watch,
he's not doing anything.
but he's a jerk. He wasn't doing anything. No, it looked like he was trying to hold his ankle back.
But his elbow strength.
Look, that's 14 feet of combined height. What do you? I mean, come on.
That's like Optimus fighting Megatron.
Steven Adams was actually the second incident in the game. The first was Kevin Durant getting tangled up with DeMarcus Cousins, which had to be broken up by the teammates. I'm going to the Lakers. No, I'm going to the Lakers. No, I'm going to the Lakers. No, I'm going to the Lakers.
I feel like Kevin Durant's just a guy that, I just feel like he's a nice guy. A guy that thanks his mum in a lot of speeches. It just seems like he was just poking at him. Both of them were poking each other. His hands back.
Yeah, that's the thing. The other thing is a lot of players like to try to agitate Cousins because, again, if you can get a reaction out of him, it's probably going to work in your favor. But lastly, and this is something I've wanted to do to so many people on a basketball court, especially in pickup basketball, is attack them with the basketball. In the last part of the court case, Cousins v. Paul. That actually sounds like one.
Watch Cousins toss into the back of the head. Right. Ooh. Ouch.
The historic voice of Ralph Lawler has a Hollywood Walk of Fame star now. Bingo.
That's just funny.
It is.
The amount of times it's the exact same thing. It's happened to me a bunch of times. You got to take a quick free kick, or you got to start something real quick.
It.
And but someone could walk by and just annoy you. Like that's what Chris Paul was trying to do there. Get a little hand in just to try and agitate him. And I would have done the same thing.
Look, DeMarcus Cousins. Again, we talk about the temper thing. Secondly, I also read before this that DeMarcus Cousins was not invited to Chris Paul's birthday party, and Chris Paul did not invite DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins didn't invite Chris Paul to his. I swear to God, there's a tweet I will find.
There's a beef.
Which to me is the most ridiculous thing in the world because these are 2 men arguing over birthday parties.
You're gonna get their mum to call each other and be
Cousins and Paul have had a little bit of a beef for a few years now. Like they don't like each other. It reminds me of like Tom and Jerry.
Oh.
Did you watch Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, of course. It's one of my favorite cartoons.
Did you watch like the Animaniacs?
Yeah. So what?
Roadrunner and
in what way are they? Who's Tom and who's
Wile
Jerry?
E. Coyote. I don't really know which one's which.
Because Tom's clearly it depends how way you look at it.
Because he's the smaller one. I always forget which one was which.
But Jerry's always antagonizing Tom.
Yeah. I feel like also
Tom's just a misunderstood cat.
I also feel like DeMarcus Cousins is so much Wile E. Coyote, and everybody in the NBA is the Roadrunner. Beep beep.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about DeMarcus Cousins, he's enjoyable to watch, but there's always that moment where you could sense that line, that frustration, whether it becomes a positive or a weakness for him. Because you look at someone like Draymond Green, who channels his
Draymond Green talks a lot, man. He might get hit in the face at some point.
He channels all the shit talking, but he channels the aggression and how pumped up he can get into a positive more often than not. Yes, there's times where you think Draymond might go over the edge as well, and it might hinder his game. But with DeMarcus Cousins, how talented he is, how dominant he can be, there is always that question: is it going to go over is it going to affect his team? Is it going to affect him a little bit more than how it's boosting him positively? I
don't know. You got him combined with Rondo causing delay of game technical fouls, which was hilarious. He's just trying to get the inbound pass, and instead his team wasn't set, so the ball, like the ref goes like this with the ball, like, and it just drops down onto the court because he's trying to get his team set, and the ref just like F you, T, give Durant 2 shots. That was that same game. Regardless, DeMarcus Cousins is on.
Do you think he's losing his shit, or do you think we're overreacting about his shit?
You know, here's the thing. He's shown the history of it. You don't know. Again, love DeMarcus Cousins. I consider him the best big man in the league. Few people should disagree with that. And how he fights for position on the block, I find to be like one of the most enjoyable things about watching big men play basketball. So
I had a Porzingis.
just don't buy into it. Like, don't let it bother you. Score 40 points instead of, and he had like 30-some points in that game. Score 40 or 50 points in that game. Channel your anger through buckets. Basketball is about one thing, Francis: getting buckets.
Buckets.
Uncle Drew's taught us so much. Make sure to comment below with what you think about DeMarcus Cousins not being invited to Chris Paul's birthday party. Follow us on Twitter at 2IT Sports, at Francis_Maxwell, and at JasonRubin91.